Hi, this is Debbie Hauss from Retail TouchPoints, and I'm here with my fellow colleagues, Alicia Fiorletta, who's our Senior Editor, and Ed Cleary, who's our publisher. We're just wrapping up the first day at NRF Big Show 2014, and we just want to share some of our insights from today. I jotted down what I consider to be my words of the day based on some of the conversations that we've had with solution providers, retailers, sessions we've attended. The first one, that pops into my mind is beacons, and Ed's going to talk for a second or two about beacons in a little while. A couple of others that came to my mind were localization, the concept of cohesive cross-channel customer experience, pricing, digital identity, which I think is a really interesting concept, geographically placed pricing, and there's a lot going on in payments, and I think that Alicia's going to address that in a few minutes. The last one that I want to touch on is data security, and because the recent security breaches are kind of the elephant in the room right now, I wasn't sure if we were going to have a lot of conversations about that today at the show, but it's hard not to. Retailers and solution providers acknowledge that it's a concern. We know consumers are concerned about it, but they feel confident that they're addressing these issues, and they're making sure that they include measures in their technologies that they're implementing, and they're making sure that their retail customers and consumers feel comfortable that we're doing everything we can. We know there are going to be security breaches in the future. There's no question about it. But in the meantime, the solution providers here and retailers are doing everything they can to protect consumers' identities and their privacy. So Ed, let's talk a little bit about the beacons. And we have an example of one here on the table that we received today.
Yeah, we just had a meeting a little while ago with Michael Hess and the team at Qualcomm, and they actually gave this to us. And it was pretty impressive, the personalization and the real-time marketing that they can do. They had suju juices, and they're actually quite tasty too, and they're all organic. But it showed how a customer, when they enter a geolocation, how they're alerted. When they go to the store, they can pull up product information. The application actually wakes up when they get into the store, and it gives them the product information, so then Qualcomm can actually tell who they drove into that retail establishment. So you get a better ROI on your investment with that technology.
Yeah, and Suju's working with Whole Foods. They're partnering with Whole Foods. And it was really kind of fascinating. When you walk into the store, they know you're in the store. You walk up in the proximity of the product, and they know you're there. So they can offer you personalized offers. And you know how key it is in retail these days to be able to really reach consumers on that one-on-one level, and that's what I think that so many people here at NRF this year are going to be talking more and more about.
Well, I think too with the the Esri mapping software solutions, we saw in some of the innovative things that they're doing, and especially the guys at Moment Feed too, and how they're reaching out through social channels with personalization down to the store manager and neighborhood level. I mean, it's pretty innovative stuff. So.
Yeah. The key theme, I think, is retailers and brands really want to connect with their consumers on a one-to-one basis. And piggybacking back to Whole Foods, I actually had the opportunity to speak with an executive from Whole Foods, as well as someone from Jamba Juice, Maverick, and another company. They're all customers of ISIS. And it really confirmed that retailers across categories are looking to take advantage of the opportunity to deliver personalized offers to their consumers, make payment more seamless, and just bring that customer experience up another notch. And they were all different levels of maturity in terms of how far into the ISIS implementation they were, but it was a panel discussion. I think our attendees of the session responded really strongly to it because they were so all over the map. And one thing that stuck out to me was the CTO, Jamba Juice, talked about the training process and making sure employees were on the same page about the benefits of ISIS, and also how they educated consumers, which I know we talk about, if we implement a solution, are the consumers going to use it? Do they know the benefits? And it seemed like they really made great strides in making sure everyone was interested and engaged in that new experience that they were trying to offer.
Yeah, there's so much going on in the payments area right now, and almost everyone you talk to these days can talk about how payments is part of the entire commerce practice, commerce strategies, because we have mobile payments coming down the line. We have EMV 2015. Retailers are trying to figure out how they're going to implement it. There are so many international retailers here as well, and they're way ahead of us as far as EMV is concerned. And hopefully they're having a lot of conversations with U.S. retailers as well, because U.S. retailers, I think, are still struggling to figure out, how is this EMV implementation going to work, and they're not going to have a choice. One of the things, though, I also talked to with a lot of people today was the fact that a lot of retailers are probably at a stage right now where they need to upgrade their POS. And it's kind of piggybacks on the whole payment topic, because when they have to upgrade their POS, now they're thinking about, okay, am I going to reinstall traditional POS units? Am I going to have mobile POS? And I need to incorporate personalization and localization. I need to integrate all the data across all the channels. I can do that through advanced POS technology. In addition to that, at the same time, I can implement all the NFC and EMV capabilities. So I think it's kind of, to me, it's kind of an all-encompassing topic of discussion. Even if it's a solution provider that's providing a very specific solution, we're still having a conversation about the entire commerce process. That consistent experience across channels, and the entire customer journey, from their home to the store and beyond. Yeah. So there were I know there's been a whole bunch of retail announcements from the show today, and there were a couple that you mentioned, and it's one of the things. I think there's so much positive energy here this year. It's the largest NRF that I've ever been to. People are really, seem really ready to speak about purchasing and implementing,
and their success that they've seen.
Right, and we've heard about a couple announcements. I know you wanted to share a couple of those that you.
Just this afternoon, meeting with the folks at Manthan Systems. I know they closed Love's Travel Stops for a supplier collaboration tool. Meeting with Predictix a little bit earlier with their assortment planning applications. Home Depot selected them. And then, again, just this afternoon, meeting with the folks at Tyco, and they have a big Macy's RFID implementation for all their shoe departments, too, which is like, I think, 850 stores. So it's really good and refreshing to see retailers investing in technology and then letting us in the media know about it, too. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it all ties together with the theme of innovation. It seems like retailers are a little more eager to embrace technology as a way to think outside of, just the traditional four walls of the brick and mortar store, so to speak. I know the one keynote I saw on Sunday had someone from Nordstrom, someone from Sprinkles Cupcakes, and someone from actually Rebecca Minkoff, the designer. And her products are sold in department stores, but she's also doing pop-ups. She's going to go into brick and mortar this coming year. And they spoke about what the new vision of the store is going to be, which I thought was really interesting, because we hear so much about brick and mortar, having problems, people aren't as engaged in the in-store experience, but they really showed how they're going to keep people engaged in the store, whether it's through stylists or store associates, using mobile technology for clienteling, or like Sprinkles Cupcakes is doing, doing curbside pickup for an order of cupcakes. If a busy mom has 3 kids in the back and says, I need to pick up my order from Sprinkles, she just pulls off to the side and someone runs out with the order.
You don't want to have to get out of your car to get your cupcakes.
Yeah, exactly. So it just goes to show that, depending on the retailer, the target audience, it definitely seems like they're more willing to think outside the box a little bit, see how technology can help them rather than hurt them.
Yeah, at the bottom line with, I think is, you talk about the concept that brick and mortar stores are struggling, but in fact, they're still delivering the bulk of the final purchases. But it has to be a whole new outlook on what the store experience is about, and it has to incorporate all channels. It has to incorporate social channels and mobile channels, and that's what retailers are realizing, that, even though mobile, is only a small percentage of sales today, it's still influencing a much higher percentage of sales, and that's what, let's not pretend that mobile's not important just because it's not delivering that high a percentage of sales. It's really influencing a lot of sales, as well as social and other channels. So I think that's another thing that we're going to hear a lot more about tomorrow and into 2014. It's been a long day for all of us.
Exciting
Yes.
day one.
Yep.
Very exciting, and a full other day to go.
Another full day tomorrow. So thanks, Ed and Alicia, for sharing your insights on the yesterday and today. And we'll be back tomorrow to talk a little bit more about what we've seen. Thanks to all of you.